Okay, so we are here today in Kansas City, Missouri at Weld Racing. I came by today to pick up a set of wheels for the in-game project that we have coming up that's getting ready to show on Discovery, and we're going to take a tour. So these guys, Tim, Jeremy, Nick, some of you guys might know Javi. We're gonna walk around today and just take a tour of the place. I've been here once before. It was like 5 years ago. It was one of the coolest tours that I've been able to take, to be part of, and I just want to see how things change. So try to give you guys an in-look process of how the wheels are built here at Weld.
Right. We're right. Man, smacking the wall sideways is 300.
That's Clay's, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think, believe it or not, I think we had
Still hold there, don't it?
It did. It's finally leaked through.
Yeah, it held up for
Backside.
probably 4 years.
What's funny, there is weights on the backside of it.
Yeah, yeah, that's way
Oh, yeah.
You can see where it dimpled it and everything.
Yeah.
But the beads held.
That's how you know that those wheels are
And
very
that's
strong.
the extra front that went with it.
That's the front.
So went up against the wall.
Yeah. Went up against the wall without any problems.
Yeah.
Well, other than cosmetic.
Right.
You showed us the video and I was like, holy cow.
Yeah, this is
the
Terry's.
track was bent sideways.
Yeah.
This was Terry's, yeah, and his whole basically from the footbox forward was bent over probably about 8 inches, 6-8 inches.
So the only salvageable thing was the driver cockpit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, it's good to know that those look like those have been made for a while, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's been
Older
sitting here
set.
for 5 years.
That's what I figured. Yeah.
So, that one was one. We had this one from another previous owner.
Oh damn.
Pancake to watch.
Yeah.
Totally changed the offset of that deal.
Yeah, that's how you turn a 16-16 into a 16-12.
Yeah. Holy shit. That was wild.
Yeah. But it didn't come apart. Tire didn't let go.
Wow.
But
Another got to be a pancake deal on the
yep,
wall. Huh?
another pancake on the wall. But it did its job. It held together.
These are the Pro Mod centers, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are the
Yeah,
drive.
that's actually the top fuel center.
So that's the difference of yours. Yours just has windows cut out to lighten.
Yep. So that's a step above yours.
That's what actually drives.
Right.
These lock in by that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so the theory is, this is actually driving
Yeah.
the wheel. The lug nuts are only holding it to the car. They're not taking the side load like they used to be. And then with the top fuel centers, we actually upgrade the bolts from a 5/16 to a 3/8.
Oh yeah.
And then there's also a steel reinforcement ring that goes right here in between the two.
Yeah.
Because the biggest issue these top fuel wheels have is the centers try to twist away from the shells.
Really?
And you end up egging out the center holes. So
Wow.
that steel reinforcement plate is just one more step.
Yeah, just another thing to
lock
try
that
to keep
together
it clamped together without it wallering the holes out.
Yep.
I like it. That's cool. That's one thing I did not know about.
Once we go out on the floor.
That's cool.
Like that.
When you're putting that bead lock on, the bead seat right here where the tire actually sits is still going to be in the same spot.
Yeah.
So, and that's when you're measuring your width, that's what you're going to measure is from here to here.
Inside to inside. Width.
Inside to inside. But, so that portion should still be in the same exact spot.
Do we want to break this tire down? Put and really measure that thing and really
This
see.
one? But what's the... finish this.
You have a mark as far as.
Yeah, just, I was looking at it.
Okay, so you just.
Hey, does that matter? Are you supposed to put the bead lock back in the same place every time?
No.
Well,
I never thought of that either. It was just
I always
something.
do.
It was just something you like to do. I just thought that was just your thing.
no, that's what the dudes at Megan Thompson, every time they go take them off, they mark them. They put them back in
It probably just covers their ass, so somebody doesn't go, "Hey
my
man."
ass too.
Yeah. I guess, like you can see with ours,
I always do the A or the U.
that's still completely flat. If we took those two rings and butt the two rings up, they'll still sit flat against each other. That means their bead bundle gap right here is correct.
Because you guys are actually relying on this to clamp.
Yeah, we're
two
clamping
halves
the wheel.
to clamp the.
We're
yeah.
not just
just mushing the tire on
just
it.
smashing the shit out of it. So that's the difference.
Yeah.
One more off.
You make these.
What's the timing on to get one wheel done? Average. 25 minutes. Wow. Times 16.
That's nothing. I mean, really, when it comes. What's up, buddy? How are you?
Just get it set in there and boom. Just set it and forget it.
That's cool.
The nice thing about this is they can load it all up.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the night, hit it and go and come back when they're done. You know?
All they have to do is unload it and load it.
Yeah. So.
Y'all ever come back and the machine's done something?
Yeah. You'll
didn't
see it on
exactly
one,
like-
but it's all shut down and stuff like that.
Yeah, he says there's an optic eye in there.
Yeah.
Like one of the pit
So-
brakes, like this is the pit brakes, it stops the machine.
Or bits. So each tool has a spare back that's back over here. Yeah. And if it sees it through the eye, it'll replace it. Huh? It's freaking, it's been a game changer. I mean, that's why now when people order, oh, it's bad.
right now.
It just went.
Yeah.
It's working on the other side too.
Is it cool? This is even cooler than the actual wheel making itself. Like it's almost cooler.
Oh yeah. It's so crazy.
I'll tell you. Yeah, that's just the billet. I mean,
Yeah. The billet. Yeah.
yeah. So deltas.
Wow.
This is a raw delta. So, and I can't even budge. That's wild. That's a lot of machining.
Yeah. So this comes out of a. Y'all, somebody does these for y'all.
Correct.
Yeah. And then you guys from them whittle them down, and that's. I'm sure it's all meticulously thought out. But it seems like this is like overkill thick to get to that.
You would think, but that's because when they do that forging, you've got to take into aspects the biggest spot you've got.
And that's where they do that, right here? That's where they do it?
Wow. Man, what, you probably just asked the question, I was calling 140, what's this?
That should be 8 pounds. 8 pounds to 140? That's a lot of scrap material. There's probably this thing probably generates a bunch of money just in scrap.
Right, yeah, I mean, everything is collected and goes to that now.
Yeah. Wow.
We're good. And on balance, put it back on the car and unfold it.
I'm waiting for that broken in.
Stuff is. One of the things that'd be cool to go back and look at is our new Kitamura. I don't know if you guys have seen this yet.
Is that the big octagon?
Yeah.
We just left there.
Oh, it is.
That thing is
Both
badass.
sides.
Yeah. I don't know if anything is running right now, but that's an impressive machine to watch when it's running.
16 at the time?
What's that?
16?
16 wheels.
Yeah, we watched it change tooling.
Okay.
We got it all videoed. It's
Oh,
change
did you?
tooling, all that stuff.
Excellent,
Yeah.
That's a 20,000 RPM spindle, so that thing can just roll. Fastest we had before that was 10,000 RPM, so that one's up to 20.
So
And-
that dude in there said 25 minutes for a wheel.
Yeah.
Depending on what size.
Depending on what size it is.
Yeah.
But some of that stuff that we're doing in there in 25 minutes, out here in the Haas machines, was taking an hour 15, hour 30.
Production.
So it sped up production time dramatically.
Dramatically.
Yeah.
So,
That is a badass
yeah.
machine.
For the first couple of weeks, we were actually having troubles keeping enough lathe forms in front of it.
Oh.
Because by the time we laid the parts over here and then put them over there to mill,
Yeah.
we were,
You were playing catch up.
yeah.
Well,
all of a sudden
is that only new front wheels?
right now it's doing RTS and it's doing spin mount or lug mount front wheels. So
Okay.
yeah, at the moment, but every month we're adding more and more to it
Can it do
because we're
big
trying to
wheels?
get it tooled up.
Could do big wheels?
We're not doing monoblock there right now.
Okay.
Like the deltas and stuff that you're normally used to.
Yeah.
That's what you're seeing right
Yeah.
here. That's a forging for the Delta
Yeah.
1 wheel. So that goes on as a 138 pound forging. And it leaves here, depending on what model it is, either a 28 pound wheel, 28 pound, 24 or 18 pound wheel. That's with beadlocks.
Wow, that's crazy.
So what you're seeing here is the lathe form.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on. That's what's coming off. We do the drilling, same drilling right out there. So
It's quite a bit
yeah, that's
more
what we're
aggressive
talking
than
when
my
we're
old
talking
wheels.
wheels.
Yeah, that's the first thing I noticed when I was down there that day was your knurling was
Yeah, if you saw it and had it moved, I was like, oh, they could do it.
That's what people are That's an 18-inch RTS center, RS77. So we're just going off the middle over here. Like the front runners, I don't know if you guys, I don't know what you guys are running up front, but like our 15 and 17 V-series up front, spin them out. So our spin them out stuff comes off these machines here. They go on in the forging right there.
Yeah.
They'll go on as about a 50-pound forging.
Man, I'll be so mad if my race wheel weighed that much.
Yeah. Comes off.
You can kiss wheelies goodbye with this.
Comes off in about
What's that?
That's in about a 10-pound range.
And then they go to that.
Yeah, then they'll go on there, or they'll go on this one.
Yeah.
This is actually where they've been for years.
Yeah.
Now we're moving them over there.
Right.
So they'll come off here at about 8.5, 9 pounds.
That's awesome, man.
So we're
Watching
doing a
all this
first
stuff
op
all
and a
day
second
before.
op on there.
Yeah.
So they'll cut the front side. The second one will be cutting the back side. Then you flip them over and you rotate them through. So.
This is the stuff I geek out on and come get pictures of.
Was that the first time we got the race stars?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they came out.
It's not cool.
Yeah.
But then,
Yeah, when you're like, hey, man, all the rivets, we need to stop calling him because all the rivets come out. I was like, no, we don't. Just put those back in the box and we're going to send them back.
then last year we had one guy break a RC comp, break one, and then Dave just found his almost broke.
Yeah.
To the finish.
To there. To there. So each thing has its own section. Kind of these, the centers get made, I assume.
Yep.
Yeah, these are
that
some
way
of
they're
our
having to change
RTS
out
medium
the
pads.
Yeah.
So they can do lathe forms right here, then go straight onto the mill or pick one.
Well, when you're taking that down to that,
And it's all feather light.
All of our sprint car centers come from these couple mills right here. We also do all of our beadlock work over here as well. So, like what he's doing here, he's got some sprint car 6-inch stuff. So that one's actually pretty rare. We only do those 2 times a year.
they get spline, don't they?
Well, this particular one is actually a front mount for a 6-pin.
Okay.
So it actually has 6 pins that locate it, and then it gets
okay.
a center.
Okay.
So this is more for your pavement sprint.
Okay.
So this is one we only run a few times a year. So
So
it's a rare one. But yeah, our normal sprint cars will have a big spline motion. Hey Larry, you got any sprint centers out here? Like spline? And then
It starts off with nothing.
Yep.
It ends up at that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's how they put splines into the center of those wheels.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, and I'm assuming it's tapered probably all the way through, right?
Exactly. None to full tooth
Yeah.
and
Yeah. So it starts.
30 in between.
So they load a center in here, and then it starts to push this machine through, and it just slowly starts to cut these splines into the wheel until it gets all the way up to here.
Yep. So that's what you're seeing here. So
Man, that's
shit
cool.
Comes through.
Crazy.
So yeah, that basically it's put it on first op, we'll cut one side. Then we'll flip it over to the second one and we'll cut second side. So this is actually a dirt late model wheel, sprint car or a beadlock ring, but same idea. The drag race does the exact same thing. Yeah, you can see how it's half done there. Yeah. And then we'll put it on here and cut the second, cut the other side. So then we'll take that, we'll send it out to polish, we'll bring it back. May go out to anodize, if it's either polish or anodize, we'll go get that treatment, come back here, and then it'll go on the mill right here. So this would be a 15-inch drag race. That's your 15-inch MT ring right there. So they got a little mark on it here where they pinch it for the anodize. Yep. If it's black, they actually, when it's going down the line, they'll clean it, they'll put the oxide layer on, and then they'll go into a dye tank and actually load it in there, and that dye seeps into all the pores. At that time, it looks like a sponge, and that black dye will seep right in there. And then they put it in the next tank, and they do a hot water rinse, and that seals all the pores. Oh, so that seals that black anodized in there.
That's crazy.
So the nice thing is about that anodized, it's only about 3 to 6/10 of a thou of an inch. So
super thin.
Super thin. So whatever that finish is before you start, is what you see, because you're still seeing the aluminum under it. Right. You're not actually seeing paint or powder. Right. You're actually seeing the aluminum.
It's actually changed the color of the material that has been machined.
Exactly. It's a layer of dye right in that material.
That's cool. Yeah, I never exactly knew how that worked. That's pretty neat.
So that's why you see it. So this is a raw machine surface. So that's why you get that. It's kind of a dull. It's glossy, but it's not real glossy. But if you see some of our other stuff where it's a mirror shine, where you can look at it and you can see your reflection in it, that's what the material looked like before you anodized it. We took it and fully polished it and then black anodized. Wow. So it would be a left front hub. Yeah. So this would be the center hub for the left front of a sprint car. Gotcha. Now what they do with that, it's actually got the hub mount for the brake right on it. So the brake rotor actually mounts to the wheel. Yeah. Bolts right to the center. Yeah. So then the actual wheel itself, they'll put 5 studs out here, and then the wheel, this would be the lugs. Oh, wow. So you put 5 nuts on it, the wheel bolts on. The wheel has no center to it. Okay. This is the center of the wheel. So once you put the bearings in it, lock it on with your axle nut, then it stays, and then all you're doing is taking the wheel shells off.
Yeah, essentially the outer shell on it.
Yeah. So you're taking that off. Now the thing is, so this would be the left front of the car. They have a brake on it, but the right front, we run the same hub without this flange because they don't have a brake on the right side. Oh wow! Sprint cars only got 2 brakes, rear and front left. So when they tap the brake, that front tire will grab, and that's what starts the pitch of the car. That starts the set. Yeah, and then they pitch it into the corner, pitch it sideways, and that's how it's going sideways all around. Huh. That's the old, I don't know if you ever watched sprint cars, but it's turn right, go left. Yeah. So when they pitch it, they actually counter steer back to the right. Because the car's coming around, so you got to bring the steering wheel back. The wheel's back straight. So it's turn right, go left. Yeah. So that's where that whole saying comes from. So that's that. Yeah, we actually make the front left, the front right, and the rear out of the same portion. Oh, really?
And some of them get this and some of them don't.
So this would be left side.
Yeah, but right side doesn't.
Right side would be this without this flange.
So same way in the back.
Yeah, and then the back gets the spline one, where that with the broach.
With the broach machine.
Yeah, got the big.
Okay. You just didn't look for it.
But the same thing, we've got beadlock rings being milled over here, we've got centers being milled back there, we've got lathes in the back turning more parts. We've got 3 lathes back there that are working on it.
Yeah, I don't think this is here when we were here last year.
Yeah, you would have been here. This would have been put in about 18. We built a new room for powder coat, moved them in there, moved maintenance in here, and then we converted that to CNC.
Yeah. That's where the one-off wheels, like for Lambos and shit, last time we were here, that was where we were in there.
I thought it was where the powder coat stuff was.
That's where you had the machines.
ADV1 back there.
ADV1 would have been in that room.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that would have been the same equipment. Yeah. Yeah. That equipment was probably in there.
Yeah, because I was
seeing ADV1.
Yeah, because that's when you were like.
Yeah, because we affectionately call that the ADV1 room because when we first opened it, that's what we did. Yeah.
I was like, man, I remember making this little room back here. And I was like,
Yeah. So over here.
I know this is what throws everybody for a loop. So I do these videos and and somebody's on there going, man, I called them. They told me they were 6 to 8 weeks back order. They got parts everywhere. It looks like it.
Yeah,
it really does.
dude, we do have parts everywhere.
I know.
But you should see the order log that goes with it.
There's no doubt. They don't keep in mind Summit, Jegs, like all your big places that you guys ship to, stuff like
Yeah,
that.
because we're in the predicament, good or bad. We do, you know, we were set up for distribution, or not distribution, but we were set up for warehouse customers only, or race shops.
Yeah.
So we sold directly to the race shops or directly to distribution.
Yeah.
But now, over the last couple of years, we've started to switch to the retail model where we've added retail.
Yeah.
So sometimes our customers going in for, you know, a retail customer off the website. Sometimes, or the next order may come in for 250 wheels to go to Jegs.
Yeah.
And then there's two ovens. They're both 90-foot ovens. The one on the far side, the gray one on the far side, that's a 90-foot T4 oven.
Yep.
So that heats the, when we're doing 6,000 series parts, that's heating the parts up to 900 degrees.
Yeah.
Running them through there for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Bringing them out, quenching them in water, bringing them back down to room temp, and then they'll come out and they'll either go to a secondary process,
Right.
or if they're ready to go to T6, they'll go back into the T6 oven, go up to about 350 degrees for 8 hours, and run through there.
Wow.
So that's what those two ovens are. But show you, to do a rim shell from start to finish, we'll come down here. So,
Wow, that's cool.
So that the first draw makes this whole piece.
Yeah.
The second draw puts this little step into it. Then the third draw, where this used to be hanging out here, we refine that, flip it over, and now your tire would sit right here.
Yeah.
This is your bead seat.
And then you weld them together.
Yep, and then they do weld it together right there. So then we'll come back here. When they go down this row, we'll trim this lip off. We'll trim this OD, set all that. We'll actually roll a safety bead in.
These are deep drawn too, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, so those shells over there would be this exact same thing, but it's just still flat. See, these have gone through. They've had the edge trimmed, this trimmed.
They even, when you do this with these, it even sounds like a weld.
like an old school Weld Wheel. That's how they sounded.
Yeah.
So,
We were just talking about this.
Come.
so before and after.
Yeah.
So, to take this, all we do, this is a 190 5052. So it's a 5,000 series aluminum. So this one's drag light.
Does it, when it rolls that over right there and it makes the bend in it, does it, I mean, you guys obviously know this, or I mean, it compromises it a little bit there, but you figured it out in the thickness of the wheel, I guess, right?
Well, what we've done is a lot of that, when we've gone through all the science of these deep draw dies, we're trying to keep that as exact consistent as we can.
Right.
Now, we do have a little bit of material, and the crazy thing is, this is 190 here, it starts at 190. This out here is 200 to 210.
Wow.
So when we squeeze them that tight with those pop and draw,
It makes it thicker, it's a big end.
yeah, we're actually moving material. As we're deep drawing it and drawing it down like that, since we're taking that material and we're actually sucking it to the inside.
Yeah.
Well, now you're taking a big circle and making it into a small circle.
Yeah.
So that material's got to go somewhere. So it actually thickens up as we come out. We use on our modified HD wheels, our extra thick late model wheels.
Okay.
We also use that rim shell on 15-inch RTS. We also use that rim shell on 15-inch RT. It just depends on what we do with it after it's flat. Once they're like, we put them into this condition, if I go over and punch it, I can turn it into that Pro Star drag light or rod light.
Yeah.
If I cut a small hole into it and then drill some holes around it, I turn it into an RT rim shell.
Okay.
Cut a little bit bigger hole in it, then I send it down the line to RTS. So I can use that same
For a lot of
rim
different
shell
wheel styles.
on 5 different wheel lines.
That's cool.
So that's kind of one of our machine material into gorgeous polished material.
And that's
And literally all you can see is their eyes. They are covered up head to toe.
Yeah,
you
they
know
put on full
what's
guard.
crazy about that is when you get you guys' wheels, it looks like it's got like some crazy machine polish on it, and you would never think this is how they get there.
Yeah.
Because that's amazing that people. Yeah, we're here a little late, and everybody's gone home. But this is where, if you order a weld wheel that gets polished, this is where it gets polished, which is intriguing to me because that means there's how many guys working here? Four guys in here hand polishing all these wheels, and they definitely they do a good job.
Yeah. So, just to give you an idea, that's before and after.
Oh yeah, yeah,
That's the same material.
Look at this.
Same material before and after polish. So you can see what a difference it is. They do actually a sisal first, which is a heavy material cutting.
Yeah.
You're actually doing a material removal. That oxide layer's got to come off.
Yeah.
And then you do a rough, or what we call a polish, and then after that you do a color buff. So there's actually 3 stages to it to get that color and to get that shine. So, but it's impressive that you can take this material and turn it into a mirror polish.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, beginning of our assembly line. So this is our inventory or ready stock for production line. Right? So out of our RTS line, these are all the different race centers down this wall just for our RTS line.
Yeah.
And then over here, this row and the row behind it is all the rim shells for the race line. So these are all our 15s, 17s, 18s, 20-inch. So when they get an order and they go down their dispatch list every day, the oldest to the newest, so they'll come over here and say, hey, I need to build 4 wheels. I need 2 of these centers and these rim shells. So they'll come over here and pick their components and take them back
Select
to
their
the assembly.
parts, then take them where they go.
Yep. We'll come down to the assembly line here. So, kind of hard to see there, but that's what we're doing. All of our RTS wheels are actually a 3-piece, but they're welded together.
Huh. Yeah, because the center is welded on this side of this hoop and this side of this hoop.
Yep. Okay. So there's actually basically a little V groove on both sides. There's the center's about 1 inch thick and the V groove about 3/8 of an inch thick. So you weld the V groove here and weld the V groove here.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. We
I've
actually
seen those.
we tape off the hole here, powder coated black.
Here, and that's how you're doing it.
Yep. That's how we do it.
I know you're doing it right. I just want to prove
And what he's doing is he's drawing these up.
Yeah, right. Pulling them up in.
Yep.
Yeah, makes sense.
That's basically what we're doing.
Yeah. Probably uses the same ring and the same set of bolts and pulls them up in there. Yeah. Now every time we hold those things down on like our YouTube channel or whatever, everybody's like, no, you gotta go a certain pattern to do it, this and that and everything. I don't know.
Yep.
It's all good. I didn't mean to interrupt y'all. No, you're good.